الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. A greeting of good afternoon to all our viewers. This is our program, Islam is the Solution English edition. Live on YouTube at Elizalde Broadcasting during Thursdays, 2 to 3 p.m. Manila time. And this is yours truly, Salem Guimba. For your inquiries, suggestions, comments, it's all on your screen. 09279279,000 or 0919-694-3095. Our topic for today is a very important topic, just the same as our topic before. It's still about in connection with the current situation in the Middle East, particularly in Gaza. The title of our topic today is the Palestine Calamity. We call it Calamity. The Gaza, we call it Palestine Calamity. The Palestine Calamity empowers the Muslim world. Actually, it's not only the Muslim world, but even including the non-Muslim countries today in Europe, America, Africa, Asia. They are now being awakened because they are also human beings. In the beginning, they are supporting the pulverizing of Gaza. But when they have witnessed the overkilling of the civilians, men, women, children, and babies, they changed their support. And now the whole world now is supporting the Gaza cause, the Palestine cause. Allahu Akbar. Not only the Muslims, but we are focusing on Muslim only. For 75 years, beginning in 1948, when the State of Israel was declared by the British Empire, beginning in 1948 up to this present time, 2023, 75 years, the people of Palestine continuously suffered the following national injustice, national oppression, crimes of humanity through the following. Number one, the stealing of their lands by the Israeli illegal annexation. They already given the land, partition. The Palestinian country was divided into two states, state of Israel and the state of Palestine. 1948, it was divided into two states. And still, they want more. They are not satisfied. The Zionist leaders of Israel, they are not satisfied with what they have. Therefore, is stealing more of the lands. And number two, in 1948, just imagine this. In 1948, 750,000 Palestinians lost their homes, lost their lands, lost their properties, lost their future. And in 1967, I'm enumerating to you. Number three, in 1967, an additional number of 430,000 Palestinians again became homeless and became refugees in their own land. Imagine. Number 4, I am enumerating to you the crimes of humanity done by the state of Israel. Because they are not satisfied by the way how the British Empire divided the land into 2 states. They are not satisfied with the 2-state solution. What they want is to get all the land of their own and become state of Israel. Number 4, more than 5 million Palestinians became homeless, and they are scattered up to now to the refugee camps in neighboring countries such as Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. Number 5, from 1967, after the 6 Days War, from 1967, Palestine has been under the military occupation. It is not just occupation. It is not civilian occupation. Military occupation. From 1967, the people of Palestine have been under the control of a military occupation by the state of Israel. Number 6, they have been subjected to countless crimes of humanity, such as the genocide and ethnic cleansing, to give way to mass murder. If you look at the situation today, they are repeatedly blaming the Hamas in Gaza. Hamas existed only in Gaza. There is no Hamas in West Bank. There is no Hamas in East Jerusalem. There is no Hamas in other parts of Palestine. Only in Gaza. But why, if the only problem is the Hamas, why they are including their Zionist policies against the Palestinians in those places without Hamas? The Golan Heights, there is no Hamas in Golan Heights. Because of the genocide, killing people, ethnic cleansing, killing the people, to give way to mass murder, and plus another crime against the international law, the apartheid system, the so-called open-air prison. The total population, the Palestinian population, millions of Palestinians, they are under the open-air prison. They are imprisoned behind the walls, concrete walls, kilometer upon kilometers of walls, so that they cannot move easily. They cannot visit their loved ones. They are divided by walls. And this is called apartheid system. You cannot go to the road for the Jews. You can only use the road only for the Palestinians. Apartheid. Now the illegal annexation. Either they grab your land through bulldozer, or they grab your land through bullets, or they grab your land through bombing. These are all historical facts, written or recorded. Then blockades. Blockades to cut off all resources. Water, to cut off water supply. No water supply, no food supply, no medical supply, no electric supply. When there is no electricity, how could the hospitals operate? How could they operate those under intensive care unit patients? No fuel, no water supply, no food, no resources coming from the humanitarian groups outside of Palestine. These are all violations of the international law being done by this Zionist state. We are not against the Jews. We are not, because there are now so many Jewish groups, they are supporting the Palestine cause. We are not against the Jews. We are not against the rights of the Jews. We are not against the justice of the Jews. We are not against the security of the Jews. What we are against is the Zionist policy of apartheid system, blockade system, collective bombing, collective massacre, collective slaughtering of civilians. Today, there is no other country in the whole world to compare with the sufferings, the horrendous pain experienced by the people of Palestine. Today, no country today in the whole world can you pinpoint to compare with the sufferings of the people of Palestine. Now we look at the situation by Islamic point of view. We know that what is happening in Palestine is a kind of trial. A calamity is a trial. It is a trial not only for the people of Palestine, but it is a trial for the 57 Muslim countries of the world. The Almighty Allah is looking at the Muslim world today, 2 billion Muslims of today. The Almighty Allah is looking at them because He has the power. The Almighty Allah has the power to destroy Israel in 1 second. In 1 split second, He can destroy the people of Israel just the same as what He did with Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible. So the Almighty Allah can do it. But instead of doing it, the Muslims of today, 57 Muslim countries of today, are being tested. This is our trial. This is not only a trial of the people of Palestine, but this is also a trial of the 57 Muslim countries of the world. They are believers like us. The people of Palestine are also like us, believing in Tawheed, believing in Islamic monotheism, believing in the oneness of Allah. We are the same believers. Believers in one and only one God, the Almighty Allah. But it is not an excuse. It does not mean that when you are a believer, you will not be tested. No. Even if we are believing in the oneness of the Almighty Allah, we Muslims are believers, still we will be tested with conflicts, with calamities, with disasters, with tragedies, with wars, with loneliness, and all those things we call trials in life. The verse is very clear. أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون. Chapter 29 verse 2, Quran al-Kareem. Do men think that they will be left alone on saying we believe and that they will not be tested? Do we think that because we are Muslims, do we think that since the people of Palestine are Muslim, they are not to be tested? Chapter 29, verse 23. لَقَدْ فَتَنَّ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ فَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. We did test those before them, and Allah will certainly know those who are true from those who are false. Therefore, brothers and sisters in Islam, the trials, the calamities being experienced by the people of Palestine today are a test to test the people of Palestine if their iman is true or false, if their believing is true or fake. And at the same time, it is a test for us Muslims of the world, 57 Muslim countries of the world, to test us also if our iman is true or fake. We are given these trials. This is not only a trial for the people of Palestine, But this is also a trial for us to determine, to see to it. Because the Almighty Allah can do it anytime, in just split second. He can destroy Israel to give justice to the people of Palestine. But He is observing us in front of this kind of horrendous calamity, in front of this colossal pain of the people of Palestine. How are we to respond? Do we see nothing? Do we hear nothing? Allahu Akbar. The whole world today, the non-Muslim world today, they are now being awakened by their sympathy, because they are human beings. They also have the feeling. And how about us Muslims? This is given to the people of Palestine to determine the truth or the falsehood of their iman, and also to give us the determination to test us also the truthfulness or the falsehood of our iman. The trials of the people of Palestine from 1948 up to 2023 and forward, almost endless trials. They are the people fighting for justice, fighting for freedom, fighting for dignity, fighting for security, fighting for peace, fighting for human rights, fighting against the brutal military occupation by the state of Israel, Zionist state of Israel. We are not demanding what is against the rights and security of the people of Israel, the Jews. We know that the Jews, they also have the rights. They also have the rights to security and peace. What we are demanding is the right of the people of Palestine against the Zionist policies of the state of Israel. This is therefore a resistance movement to the oppressive denial of the most human dignity, most basic human dignity. And using the Islamic point of view, the trials are given to the people of Palestine and to the 47 Muslim countries. The number one reason is to determine the truthfulness or the falsehoodness of their iman, our iman, including us. Number two reason why they are given these trials, these colossal trials. Number two reason, in order to test the Palestinian people and the 57 Muslim countries of the world today, to test them in order to bring them to their senses, in order to bring them to their senses so that they can bring themselves back unto the way of obedience to the Almighty Allah. Because in Palestine and elsewhere around the world, disobedience to the Almighty Allah is rampant everywhere. Not only in the Philippines, not only in Asia, not only in Indonesia, not only in all the countries of the world, not only in Saudi Arabia, not only in Syria, but including also Palestine. Rampant disobedience to the Almighty Allah. So we are given this lesson so that we can wake up. We could bring back our senses to the obedience of the Almighty Allah, returning to Allah, returning to the Almighty Allah, returning to the obedience of the Almighty Allah is therefore one of the main purposes of this horrendous Palestine calamity. Turning to Allah, turning to obedience to Allah. Because, as I said, there is no Muslim country in the whole world today that is not violating the mandates of the Almighty Allah? Which country can you pinpoint? Saudi Arabia? Qatar? Emirates? Kuwait? Iraq? Libya? Indonesia? Malaysia? All the Muslim countries of today are violating the mandates of the Almighty Allah. Now, listen to this hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When a Muslim, a believer in Allah, when a Muslim community, or when a Muslim nation, or when a Muslim individual violates the Almighty Allah, what will happen? Just like in Marawisades. Before the Marawisades, how did the Muslims live in Marawi? So much violations, drugs, murder, kidnapping, hold-upping, and a lot more of crimes. So the Almighty Allah used the musrikun, used the kuffar, used the disbelievers, used the unbelievers in order to punish the Muslims, so that the Muslims will wake up back to their senses of obedience to Allah. This is what the Hadith Qudsi. Hadith Qudsi meaning the one is speaking is the Almighty Allah. It is not a verse in the Quran. It is a hadith, but different from ordinary hadith. In the ordinary hadith, it is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was speaking. In the Hadith Qudsi, it is the Almighty Allah speaking. I will read to you. إذا عصاني من يعرفني سلطت عليه من لا يعرفني. When the one who knows me, the Almighty Allah is saying, when the one who knows me, who are those people who know Allah? Of course, the Muslims. It is not the Christians. It is not the Jews. The Muslims. When the one who knows me disobeys me, I will let the one who does not know me. Who are those people who do not know Allah? The disbelievers, the kuffar, the mushrikun. I will let the one who does not know me to overpower him. So when the Muslim individual or Muslim community or Muslim country, when the Muslim ummah, when the Muslim nation disobeys the Almighty Allah and continues in the disobedience to the Almighty Allah will use the kuffar to invade the Muslims, to occupy the Muslims, to terrorize the Muslims, so that the Muslim will wake up and go back again unto the way of obedience to the Almighty Allah, so that again they will become superpower. So this is what is happening in Palestine. Not only Palestine is being given the trials, but all the 57 Muslim countries of the world today, they are also subject to these trials, because we disobey the Almighty Allah either individually or by group or by community or by country. We do not live in the mandate given to us by the Almighty Allah to give us a protection. Therefore, the Palestine calamity is a trial, not only to bring the people of Palestine back to Allah, but also to bring the 57 Muslim countries back to Allah. Because the purpose of trial is to bring you back. If you are living a life of a sinner, disobeying Allah, rampant disobedience of the Almighty Allah, Allahu Akbar, then either natural calamities, tidal waves, earthquakes, whatever natural calamities will visit your country, or man-made calamities will visit your country, such as invasion, occupation, or war, or revolution, or like what is happening in Palestine. Occupation by the military state of Israel. So the purpose of this trial experienced by the people of Palestine is to turn back. Turn back. We are forgetting to obey the Almighty Allah. So we have to be reminded. We have to be reminded. Sometimes smoothly, but sometimes we need to be reminded harshly. وَبَلَوْنَاهُمْ بِالْحَسَنَاتِ وَالسَّيِّئَاتِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. Chapter 7, verse 168, Quran al-Kareem. And we tried them with good and evil, in order that they might turn to where? Turn to what? In order that they might turn to the obedience of Allah. Turning ourselves back unto the obedience of Allah. The people of Palestine and the 57 Muslim countries must have this Palestine calamity as a great lesson to bring ourselves back unto Allah. Therefore, we must not look at this situation, we must not look at this Palestine calamity as an obstacle, rather as a means to repent and renew ourselves, and renew our iman, and renew our understanding of obedience to the Almighty Allah. The people of Palestine are special. They are special. They are chosen by the Almighty Allah to become martyrs. Those who die by bombardment, they are martyrs. So they are special. And the crimes of humanity are given to them not only to determine who among them are the best in deeds, but also to determine who among us, 57 Muslim countries of the world, are the best indeed. Because the Almighty Allah is looking at us. How do you react, Muslims in the Philippines? How do you react, Muslims in Indonesia? How do you react, Muslims in Malaysia? Muslims in Turkey? How do you react, Muslims in Pakistan? The Almighty Allah is looking at us. How do we react? What are those things? Our plan of action. What are those things that we will do? Are we the best indeed? Or do we do nothing? We have to do something. Oppressions are given to the people of Palestine for 75 years already. For 75 long years, 7 decades and a half. Oppressions are given to them, not only to test them, but to test us. How do we react? What do we do? Did we do something or nothing? The trials are given to the people of Palestine to prove these 57 Muslim countries, of which 47 are members of the United Nations. 57 Muslim countries given to the people in order to test us. Who among us are the best in deeds? Chapter 67, verse 2. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. Who has created death, meaning Allah? Who has created death and life, that He may test you which of you is best indeed? Referring to the question of best indeed, what can we do? What is to be done by the Muslim world of today to stop the Zionist state of Israel in the doing of the crimes of humanity against the people of Palestine? What are we supposed to do? What are the things that we must do? They tell us, ceasefire. Ceasefire is not enough. Even if today we will have the ceasefire in Palestine, in Gaza, even if today there is a ceasefire, even if today the United Nations Secretary General will announce the ceasefire, ceasefire is not enough. Because after the ceasefire, the Zionist government of Israel will resume its crimes of humanity. Yes. Even with the ceasefire, it will resume the apartheid system, imprisoning the population with kilometers upon kilometers of wall, separating the Muslims from the Jews, separating the Muslims from their relatives. Apartheid system, so-called. Even if there is a ceasefire, the government of Israel will continue the oppressions of blockades. Even if there is a ceasefire, it will not give up the illegal annexation. And even if there is a ceasefire, it will do once in a while the collective bombing, collective punishment, collective murder. So therefore, what is to be done? Of course, the first step is the ceasefire. Then after the ceasefire, this is the number one thing to do. After the ceasefire, this is what we have to do, because we discussed above about we are given these trials in order for the Almighty Allah to see us, who among us are the best in deeds. So what are we supposed to do so that we can be the best in deeds in front of this calamity? Ceasefire is not enough. So what is to be done so that we become the best indeed in response to this Palestine calamity? Number one thing that we must do, after the ceasefire, the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, must file a criminal case to the International Criminal Court to sue the state of Israel of the crimes of humanity. The state of Israel must be responsible. It must answer the casualties, those number of casualties, mortalities. They are responsible to answer these crimes. And there must be a case to be filed in the International Court of Justice, in the International Criminal Court, filed by these Muslim countries, 57 Muslim countries, in order to bring to justice the crimes done by this Zionist state. Number two, the 57 Muslim countries must unite themselves to sanction the state of Israel. Sanction. You must be thinking, how could these Muslim countries do what you are proposing? They are all puppets by the superpowers. How could they do it? They cannot do it. No, my friend. We will give them two weapons. There are two weapons that they can do it. Just a while. After enumerating to you what are the things to be done so that we Muslims become qualified, what is mentioned in the Quran, the best indeed. Trials are given to us so that we can prove that we are the best indeed. Number three, the 57 Muslim countries must do an absolute state boycott, government boycotts of all Israeli products. 57 Muslim countries will give a mandate, official mandate, government mandate of boycott, boycotting all the products of Israel. Number four, the 57 Muslim countries must cut off all political, economic, military, and religious diplomatic ties with the state of Israel. They can do it. To give this arrogant country, a lesson. Number five, Yes, it is an arrogant country. Almost all the whole world today, in Europe, America, Asia, even in America and European Union countries, they are now standing up in solidarity with the justice of Palestine. Number 5, the Muslim countries with gasoline must do this drastic act. What is this drastic act? Yes, if we really want to be the best indeed in front of calamities, in front of trials as mentioned in the Quran, the Almighty Allah has given us this trial in order to determine who among us are the best indeed. Then this number 5, they must do it. What is number 5? The Muslim countries with gasoline must do the oil embargo against the state of Israel. Oil embargo against the state of Israel. The paramount purpose of this 5 plan of action is to bring back the lands of the people of Palestine and give them peace, give them justice, give them security, and give them human dignity. But as I mentioned, they will not do it. The 57 Muslim countries, we call them NATO. No action, talk only. But they can do it. We will give them 2 weapons. And what are the 2 weapons? Number 1, the power of global Islamic brotherhood. Number 2, the power of sabr, patience. We will discuss. How do you feel, brothers and sisters in Islam? How do you feel when you are watching on YouTube or whatever social media format the bombing, the killing of children, babies, women? Allahu Akbar. How do you feel? How do you feel? You 57 Muslim countries of the world, how do you feel? We are a Muslim ummah. We are a Muslim nation. The entire world of the Muslim, we call it ummah, Muslim ummah. We are Muslim ummah. We are one nation, one Muslim nation. And as a Muslim ummah, we are like one body. When a certain part of your body is in pain, the entire body is also in pain. When we are looking at the YouTube or any social media platform and we are watching those videos about the bombardment, about the murder and killing of those our brethren in Palestine, how do you feel? Do you feel the remorse? Do you feel the remorse against the state of Israel? Do you feel the sympathy with the people of Palestine? Or what? Or do you feel happy that the people of Palestine are being bombarded and killed? Subhanallah. I will read to you the hadith. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مثل المؤمنين في تودهم وتراحمهم وتعاطفهم مثل الجسد إذا اشتكى منه عضو تداعى له سائر الجسد بالسهر والحمى. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the parable of the believers in their affection, mercy, and compassion for each other is that of a body. We are one body, one nation, one ummah, one body. Either you are an Egyptian, you are a Pakistani, or you are Indonesian, you are Malaysian, you are Filipino. We are one nation, we are one ummah, we are one body. We have no territorial boundaries. We have no national boundaries. We are one ummah. We are one body. The hadith continues. When any limb pains, The whole body reacts with sleeplessness and fever. Most authentic hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. The Palestinians are believers in Allah. They are our brethren, and the true brethren is brethren in faith, brethren in iman. إنما المؤمنون إخوة. The believers are but brothers. And since we are brethren, we are believers, we are supposed to be alliance to one another. We are supposed to be helping one another. The 57 Muslim countries of the world should be alliance to one another. They should be supporting, defending, helping the people of Palestine. وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ. The believing men and believing women are allies to one another. We are brethren. Now, if we do not have the spirit of brotherhood, global Islamic brotherhood, meaning we don't care. We do not have Islamic brotherhood. It is mentioned in the hadith that we should have Islamic brotherhood. And if we don't care about Islamic brotherhood, then these 57 Muslim countries are not only useless, but they are also impotent. The 57 Muslim countries are useless and impotent if you take out the sympathy. Now the whole world, the non-Muslim world today, they are sympathizing. South Africa cutting relationship with Israel. The Chad, other countries in Europe, they are now cutting the relationship with Israel. They are non-Muslim countries. And how about you, Muslim countries of the world? We have the hadith to support that we are supposed to be brethren in faith, brethren in iman, and we are supposed to be alliance to one another. And if you have no sense of brotherhood, therefore you are Muslim useless and you are Muslim impotent. The number 2 weapon, sabr, patience, steadfastness, determination, willpower. These are all called sabr. Without sabr, we cannot move. How could we execute those 5 plans of action mentioned above? How could you do those things if we have no sabr? Patience. Either we support the people of Palestine with our resources, or with our money, or with our physical bodies, or with our military capabilities and military infrastructures, or with our rallies, or with our protest, or with our boycotting, or with our global cutting off of gasoline. We cannot do these things without sabr. We need sabr. Just like what we are going to do this coming Sunday, November 19, 2023, there will be a big forum, Free Palestine Forum, to be held in Blue Mosque, Social Hall of Blue Mosque, from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Everybody is invited to discuss, because some Muslims do not know the issue. They just go to rally and did not understand the issue. So first thing is forum. So we make a forum this coming November 19, Sunday, 1 to 5, at the Blue Mosque in Taguig, Maharlika, Taguig. Then next Friday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? 17. Tomorrow is November 17. Next Friday, November 24, we will conduct the biggest rally in Metro Manila, to be held in front of the Blue Mosque in Maharlika Village, Taguig City. All are invited. Men, women, young or old, including children, Muslim or non-Muslims are invited. We will have this big event. Now, we cannot do it. We cannot go to the street and shout in the street, fighting for the justice of the Palestinians, if you have no sabr, patience. We cannot do all those things without sabr. And if we have the sabr to fight for the justice of the people of Palestine, then Allah is with those people of sabr. Chapter 8, verse 46, Quranul Kareem. Wasbiru inna Allaha ma'as sabirin, and be patient. Verily Allah is with those who are as-sabirun, who are patient. Meaning to say, the patience of these 57 Muslim countries of the world to stand up, to stand firm at the United Nations Security Council, to ask the United Nations Security Council to stop the oppressive superpowers in supporting Israel. You cannot do it without sabr. You Muslim countries, you cannot do it without sabr. Sabr as a defense system for the Muslim world to unite ourselves to stop the tyranny and injustice of the state of Israel. And because if we have the patience, if we have the sabr, you know the word sabr is very limited to be translated to patience. The word patience is very limited. It has a larger connotation. Steadfastness, willpower, dedication, determination, guts. These are all sabr, meaning of sabr, and more. So if we have the sabr, patience, steadfastness, then we will be rewarded by the Almighty Allah with the goodness in this dunya, in this world, and the goodness in the hereafter. Chapter 32, verse 24. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. And this is how strong it is, my friend. Because if you have the sabr, the Almighty Allah will give the 57 Muslim countries the global leadership. The global leadership. And we made from among them leaders giving guidance under our command when they were patient, when they have sabr, when they were patient and used to believe with certainty in our ayat. So the condition of global leadership, sabr, patience. 2 billion Muslims of the world, 2 billion. If we have this sabr, then these 2 million will have the leadership. And we need the perfection of sabr. We need a perfection, upgrading of our sabr every day. We have to upgrade our sabr because trials are never ending. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. Chapter 3, verse 200. Quranul Kareem. Oh, you who believe, be patient and excel in patience, meaning upgrading your patience. And remain steadfast and fear Allah that you may be successful. Therefore, we have to inspire the people of Palestine. We have to inspire the people of Palestine and the 57 Muslim countries of the world today with sabr, patience. Because we are to be tested with fear. We are to be tested with hunger. We are to be tested with the loss of our wealth, with the loss of our loved ones, with the loss of our lands, with the loss of our homes. We are to be tested with the loss of our freedom, loss of our peace, security, and the loss of justice. These are the normal components that make up our entity as human beings. Sometimes you are experiencing these painful experiences in life. That is why we have to be prepared. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Chapter 2, verse 155. And certainly we shall test you with something of fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives and fruits, but give glad tidings, give good news to as-sabirun, to the patient. Why? Why give us good news to the patient? You know the people in Palestine, when they lost their wives or husbands or children or parents or relatives, do you know what they do? They just say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Verily, to Allah we belong, and verily to Him we shall return. So those people experiencing the loss of parents, brothers, wives, children, there are those families that they lost 10 members of the family. Some families they lost 45 members. Some families they lost 100 members. Allahu Akbar, subhanallah. How could you have the chance, the hope of living? But the Muslims, this is their answer. This is the answer. Chapter 2, verse 156. الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Who, when afflicted with calamity, say, truly to Allah we belong, and truly to Him we shall return. This is the mind frame. This is the makeup of the heart. This is the iman. This is the belief system of the Muslims. That is why even after all those horrendous calamities in life, still they are hopeful. These people. Chapter 2, verse 157. أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون. They are those on whom are the salawat, blessings and forgiveness from their Lord. And they are those who receive His mercy, and it is they who are the guided ones. So we must inspire the people of Palestine. We must inspire the 57 Muslim countries of the world. We must inspire them to upgrade our sabr, to improve our sabr, to improve every day our sabr. Because these two weapons, the power of Islamic brotherhood, global Islamic brotherhood, and the power of sabr, this is what we need. Without these two weapons, you cannot move. You could not move to execute those 5 plan of actions that we mentioned above. We have a lot of things to discuss. We only have 6 minutes. Last point. There is a good news. For the people of Palestine, there is a good news. And for the people of the 57 Muslim countries, there is a good news. What is the good news? Happiness. The happiness in paradise is exclusive only to those people of sabr. When we are about to enter the paradise, the Almighty Allah will tell us, today I am giving you this favor because of your sabr, because of your patience. 111, chapter 23, verse 111. Inni jazaytuhumul yawma bima sabaru annahum humul faizun. Verily, I have rewarded them this day for their patience, sabr. They are indeed the ones that are successful. Inni jajaytuhumul yawma bima sabaru annahum humul faizun. This is the good news for the people of Palestine. The paradise is exclusive for the people of Sabar. And we will cut this topic because our time is no more. We will say our goodbye. This is also the topic that we will discuss tomorrow, inshallah, at the Indonesian Embassy. This topic that we discussed to you now in advance. Tomorrow, inshallah, November 17, 2023, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. And again, a greeting of peace to all those who believe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.